He on the ground screaming for my breath. He's talking about he need to breathe, bro. I walked over there. I'm like, damn, what's going on? I look at the man, bro. He's on the ground. He's screaming for his life. He's trying to breathe, bro.
Immediately after George Floyd was murdered by the Minneapolis Police, there was a vigil that next day. The vigil was about maybe thousands of people in the street that started on 38th in Chicago. There was a lot of community rage you could see and feel. Even though COVID was happening, there was a bunch of space in between people, but yet there was moments where everybody was sort of smashed into where the speakers were, and some of the speakers were having difficulties trying to control some of the emotions in the crowd.
We want this police officer arrested with his partner, not suspended. Because if anybody out here committed a felony or heinous crime, they would be in jail right now. He needs to be in jail right now. So let's go to the police station and make sure we get arrested.
So the vigil ended up marching down 38th Street and up Hiawatha to the 3rd Precinct, where the officers were employed at.
I feel hurt, I feel betrayed, I feel not safe, and honestly, I feel like I'm not wanted in this country at all. Fuck the state, fuck the city, I'm not wanted in this country. I feel underrepresented. I feel fucking pissed off. I feel like I want to fucking burn some shit down right now. And honestly, I don't want to see no police because I know I'm going to fuck some shit up when I do see them.
George Floyd! George Floyd!
On 32nd Street in Hiawatha, we saw some of the first interactions with police. It was one car with 2 officers in it, and people started to direct their rage against that one car, started to throw things, started to smash on the windows. And that car ended up having to move back out of the intersection. And there was a lot of people who came in the middle of that to try to quell what people were emotionally showing with their actions. Right after that, we heard multiple people saying, you can't police my emotions.
Don't throw nothing.
Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me how to express my rage. Fuck them!
Once people got to the precinct, there was people who surrounded the precinct. There wasn't a police force on the outside, and the police were on the inside, some of them in riot gear, but some of them not. The people immediately had surrounded the precinct. There was people who were guarding the precinct to stop people from smashing windows and from spray painting on the precinct, but that quickly was sort of pushed aside as tons of youth and community members that were really angry and grief-stricken at what they saw the day before. They sort of came and swarmed around the precinct. There was a few windows that were shattered.
There goes the window.
It's kind of tough to actually, I've looked at it once, I couldn't watch it again, because of the tragedy, because of what I seen, how horrifying it was, how the power we don't have, we can't really do anything about that because they have the badge,
Gawkers and onlookers was explaining to the police that this guy is dying. The police got more emboldened to inject more pain and inflict more pain. And it's almost like he didn't want to give up the power that he had at the time. You understand what I'm saying, man?
From there, people moved into the back alley, and they took their anger out on a police cruiser, just demolishing it. From there, there was a police parking lot, and the precinct the door got opened somehow, and people then swarmed into the parking lot and started taking out their rage on the police cars, as well as the individuals' cars who worked at the precinct, as that's their parking lot. When that happened, I immediately knew that was going to be sort of a tipping point for the police to then react, because they hadn't come out to react yet. They came in full force with a few riot squad vans, with the white vans and the Jump Out Boys, and they came out to sweep the area. They shot a lot of flashbangs and less lethal munitions and a lot of tear gas. When they first came, we were still live streaming. We were sort of stuck where the alley is in the back of the precinct. The police came to sweep that area, and there was a press standing next to us, and that press got batons to the neck. He expressed himself as press, and he was still attacked.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Hey! Yo! You do not need to do that! No! You do not, he's a press! He's press! He's press! I'm press too! Press! I'm moving!
Spoke to him later, and he felt that he was specifically attacked because he was black.
It was crazy because there were so many police that walked past us, and that one officer that singled me out made a beeline directly at me. And I'm not one to play victim. I'm not one to be like, woe is me, right? But I did feel singled out in that moment. I was the only colored person in that area. I'm not quick to say that by any means, but that's what it felt like to me. I'm just glad that I responded as opposed to reacted, because I was very freaked out.
Then the police tried to take control of the other parking lot. There's 2 parking lots, one that was locked, one that was open. They then pushed into those parking lots, pushing everybody back to Snelling Avenue near the Arby's, and shot a lot of tear gas. Probably the most tear gas I've ever seen shot in the Minneapolis or St. Paul area during any time in the recent past. Then it started to rain. The drizzle started to happen, but that didn't really stop the people pushing forward and continuing to fight. It was tit for tat. A lot of people on the front lines were putting their hands up. People on the periphery lines were throwing rocks and water bottles at that point, and the police were shooting a lot of less lethals.
There goes more tear gas on that side. More getting shot at the people that were lined up. Heads up, heads up! People are throwing some of the tear gas back. Police are shooting with rubber bullets and marker casings. Tear gas is really thick. Really nobody brought a gas mask that I see.
Now is not the time to run. This is when you stand strong and let them know that we will not take this any longer. We will not take this any longer. When the cops get away with murder, you know, and everybody wants to be peaceful, this is about as peaceful as it's gonna get.
We took enough of this. We didn't care then. We got our foot down now. We tired of this.
Here goes more getting tossed.
I really do hope that the cops get indicted and be convicted of the murder that they got away with.
See what they do to us? See what they do to us? They mason us for no reason.
If it's war they want, we'll give them war. If they don't want to give us peace, hey, peace killed our brother. Sitting down, not doing shit, killed our brother. We not gonna get them back. They gonna get their cars back. They gonna get their building back. They gonna get their shit back. We not getting our brother back. So it's fuck the police to the death of me. That's on my mama.
Some fireworks were shot, and the police were then using less lethals to shoot back at people who they thought were throwing rocks.
We got sons, we got uncles, we got nephews. That's not right. They supposed to provide. They supposed to serve. They don't care. They shrug their shoulders. They don't care. Like, where's our justice? That ain't right. Period.
It was like the battle at Snelling and Lake, where Target carts were used as barricades, as well as the bus station, and at one point even a semi was used as a barricade to stop police from shooting people who were throwing rocks or projectiles. And the police were shooting a lot. I got shot at twice from standing where I was. I was not throwing things. I had specifically, you know, a camera rig in one hand, mic in the other. And one of the times I got shot at was one of the less lethals came right directly towards my head in the bus stop and broke through the bus stop window.
What the f?
And only moments later, maybe a minute or two, is when I got shot in the arm. And I got shot in the arm after a person got shot at with a less lethal. And the glass, it went through the glass of the bus stop, because they shattered the glass of the bus stop by shooting their projectiles through, the police did. And glass then went into the person's eye. I reached down to film it and see if he was okay. And at that point is when I got hit.
Ah!
The rain seemed to quell that night's push for more action as it started to rain really, really hard. Liquor store across the street from the Minneapolis 3rd Precinct was looted. At the time, people were expropriating what they wanted out of there. There was a moment where the police then came out finally for the first time onto the street from inside of their area where they had originally sort of been on the sides, and they had set up barricades along the sides at that time too. What we saw there was a few people that were going inside and out of the liquor store, and then we saw the police reaction to that. They sent in a SWAT unit. The SWAT unit came with concussion grenades, threw them into the store, came in like they were clearing the area like an Iraq war zone. We saw very violent arrests at that point as well.
Get on the fucking ground! Get on the ground! Get back! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Yo, what the fuck? Do you see that? What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Dude, do you see that? What are you saying?
Why are they punching him? Why are they punching him?
Do you see that?
The police are punching him in the face multiple times.
Do not kill him, please. Do not kill him.
That was just the first night. Things continued all night that night. People were doing a bunch of different things in a bunch of different manners that led to what we saw the next few days.
Shit not gonna change unless we take a stand here. We don't leave right now or the next hour, even the next hours. We stay here all night if we have to, and we come our asses back tomorrow if we got to. And the next day, and the next day. Shit's gonna change, it's gonna change today.